Hi guys, it's Angie with Fun Endeavors Tie-Dye Lab. Today I'm going to make a single color ice dyed geode, and this time I'm going to use a colored shirt as well. The shirt that I'm going to use is 100% cotton, but it's a very light pink color, kind of like a cotton candy pink. I had a viewer who was getting rid of some of their items, and they sent me a box of stuff, and this was in that box. I'm going to start by using a washable marker and making kind of a geode shape on the front portion of the shirt where I'd like for the center of the geode to be. That's not going to be the actual shape of the center of the geode, but this is just going to be for reference for me. Then I'm going to take a small metal clip, which I purchased from the Dollar Tree, place it in the center of that area so that it'll be easy for me to find as I'm tying the shirt. I'm going to grab that clip, lift the shirt up off the table, kind of give it a shake, let it fall naturally. And then I'm going to slide my hand down to the very end of this fold or this geode area and start tying from the outside rings of the geode going in toward the center. For me, I find that I get a more natural looking geode when I do that. I'm going to use some sinew, which is wax coated. So underneath these sinew lines is going to remain this original shirt color. I'm going to tie a couple of wraps of sinew around the shirt, pull it really tight, and I'll feel the sinew kind of catch and start to tighten down on itself. I'm going to give a couple more wraps, and then I'm going to pull it as tight as I can get it. Then I'll move on to the next sinew line. I'm going to vary the distance between all the sinew lines, and as I'm tying these sinew lines, I'm going to continue roughing that shirt up. I really don't want it to be perfect. I want there to be some weird shapes in there. I want it to be just very random. Now that I'm down to the center portion of the geode, I'm going to split my geode. And to do that, I'm going to take the sinew down through a piece of fabric. I'm going to just kind of take the end piece of fabric, divide it into two areas, and take the sinew down in between those two areas of fabric. Then I'm going to continue tying each side of this center of the geode separately. If you wanted to, you could go ahead and divide the center into more than just two areas. It's totally up to you. You know, the more random you do these and the more unique they look, the more natural they look. So this is truly one of those designs that you can be as messy as you want to, and the design actually turns out better, and you can just be as random as you want to, and the design turns out better. So after I have this design tied, I'm going to place it aside and allow it to dry out completely. These thicker folds like geodes, I get better color saturation in the center if I allow them to dry out completely before I apply the dye. So I left this one probably about 2 weeks before I started dyeing it. And then when I dyed it, I put the dye on the shirt and went to put the shirt aside and noticed that my video camera wasn't recording. I had been recording, hit pause, and then just forgot to turn it back on. I think this dye color turned out really pretty though, so I wanted to go ahead and share. So let me go ahead and tell you what I did. I placed the shirt down inside of an expandable plastic colander, placed the colander over the top of a plastic tote, and then lightly sprayed the shirt with a little bit of soda ash solution that I have inside of a spray bottle. Then over the top, I placed a little bit of Pro Chemical and Dye's berry. I added a layer of ice, and then I added some more berry to the top of the ice. Added a little sprinkle of dry soda ash, and I put the shirt aside. I've included some photos that I took while the shirt was processing so you can see my setup. Then after the first layer of ice melted, I noticed I still had some undissolved dye, so I went ahead and added another layer of ice. Then I let the shirt process probably about 36 hours after all the ice melted before I rinsed it. I did the normal rinsing process, and I started rinsing in cold water to rinse out the soda ash. Then I warmed the water up to hot, and continued rinsing in hot water to try to rinse out the excess dye that didn't bond with the fabric. Then I went ahead, untied the shirt, and did a soaking process on the shirt. To do the soak, I added some really hot water to my utility sink, a little bit of Blue Dawn dish soap, placed the shirt inside, and allowed it to soak. When the water cooled off, I changed it out, and I continued that soaking process until my water was remaining almost clear. Then I placed the shirt along with some Dharma's professional textile detergent into my washing machine, and I washed it using a hot water cycle. Okay, so the shirt has been washed and dried, and let's see what it looks like. Okay, so what do you guys think? I think this one turned out really cool, and I love this color. That's one reason why I wanted to go ahead and show it, even though I didn't get the full dyeing process. But there are a few things that I'm a little bit surprised about and questioning on this shirt. Remember, I used only Berry from Pro Chemical and Dye, and I knew it already had cool color splits from my color swatch. But in the center of the geode, and a lot of my geode lines are white. What happened to the pink? Initially, I thought, well, it's just an optical illusion because the rest of the shirt is darker. It makes that very light kind of cotton candy pink look white. But no, it is white. I held a piece of white paper up to those lines, and it's white. You can also see some of the original color in the shirt. You know, it is that really light cotton candy pink. So that color is still there. It's just not on all my sinew lines. And part of my sinew lines turn brown, which I understand that. I mean, when the dye settled, it kind of settled there, and that's where that color split ended up going. I get that. But I don't understand the white lines. I'm sure there's some sort of an explanation for it, but I'm not entirely sure what it is. But I do think this shirt looks really cool. You know, I thought with the lighter pink color that some of the darker pinks, I knew this split out some brown, some darker kind of burgundy-ish type colors, and I thought they would look really pretty. And if I did have any of the original color of the shirt left, it would look cool. But the color splits in this color far exceeded my expectations. I was expecting some, pretty pinks and a little bit of brown, but I love all of the burgundy-ish type colors. There's just a variety of pinks in this color. I mean, I've had this color for a long time and I've used it many times, but I don't think I've ever used it by itself. And so I wanted to try it, and I'm really glad that I did. You know, there are a lot of really cool colors out there from all the dye suppliers that have been around for a long time, were mainly used for liquid dyeing, and then ice dyeing got to be popular, and they just haven't quite gotten the hype that they deserve. I think this one deserves some hype. I think it's really pretty. I also ended up with some cool kind of textured areas in the shirt, and those came from allowing the shirt to dry out completely before I dyed it. So I understand where those are coming from, but I think with the single color, all the color splits, those added areas look really interesting and fun on this shirt. Let me clarify, they look textured, but they're not actually textured. So obviously, I love this shirt. Think it turned out super cool. I'm really happy with it. But what do you guys think? Have you used Berry by itself? I mean, did you get these kind of results? And if anybody knows what the deal is with me ending up with white lines on this shirt, I would love to hear the explanation for that one too. So please drop me some comments down below and let me know. And if you've enjoyed the video, I sure would appreciate it if you would like it, and if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you'll hit the bell, you'll receive a notification whenever I upload a new video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a great day.